it's time once again for another video. This time out, I wanted to do a July Dollar Tree and Big Lots pickup video. This is going to be way more Dollar Tree than Big Lots. I just happened to stop at one Big Lots store today and picked up a couple of things, but the majority of the stuff that I'm going to show you is from Dollar Tree. And today was supposed to be the day of the July 2022 drop. Although most people have been seeing stuff in their stores earlier than today. I happen to have today off, so I figured I would hit up some Dollar Tree stores. And I went to 4 stores today, only one of which had anything of note, but it was a lot of stuff, so I'll show you what I picked up today. So first up, the DVDs that I picked up, and first is the classic slasher collection, and this includes 5 movies on 2 DVDs. It is Don't Look in the Basement, Scream Bloody Murder, Silent Night Bloody Night, The Hatchet Murders, and The Severed Arm. There's the front, and there's the back. So I haven't seen any of these. I'm sure the quality isn't that great, but $1.25 for 5 movies, I'll take it. Next on DVD, I picked this one up. This is Wesley Snipes in The Art of War. This is sort of a James Bond, combination James Bond Shaft with martial arts, according to the back here. It says, officially coolly efficient covert operative Neil Shah does not exist. Try telling that to anyone who stands in Shah's way. Wesley Snipes plays Shah, one of an elite team of United Nations agents in this stylish thriller directed by Christian Duguay, Joan of Arc, and co-starring Ann Archer, Michael Biehn, and Donald Sutherland. So, Art of War, there's the front of it. And there is the back. And then the last thing I picked up on DVD is Assassination Nation. This looked interesting. It says, high school senior Lily and her 3 best friends live in a world of selfies, emojis, snaps, and sexts. But when their town of Salem is besieged by a massive data hack resulting in half the citizens' private info spewed into public view, the community descends into anarchy. Lily is targeted after being falsely blamed for the hack and bands together with her friends to survive a long, blood-soaked night. So yeah, this looks pretty interesting. I've heard various good things and bad things about it, but it says Mean Girls meets The Purge. That ought to be interesting. So yeah. All right, so then everything else I have from Dollar Tree is on Blu-ray. Picked this up. This is the extended survival edition of Drill Bit Taylor with Owen Wilson. And this, I believe, is from like 2008. Yeah, 2008. I have not seen this at all. I figured I would take a chance on it. Owen Wilson, I can... sometimes I can stomach him, sometimes he's hard to take, but this might be interesting. So that's Drill Bit Taylor. This one I thought looked fun because of the cast. Not so much the plot. But this is Cuban Fury. And this has Nick Frost, Rashida Jones, Chris O'Dowd, and Ian McShane. Especially enjoy Nick Frost and Chris O'Dowd. All's Fair in Love and Salsa. And there's the front of that one. And then there's the back. Got another one of the Spanish, with the Spanish artwork and Spanish descriptions and whatnot, but of course the movie itself is in English. And this actually is another 3D one. I got Assassin's Creed Last Wave in 3D with the Spanish, and this is Abraham Lincoln versus, or Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I'm sorry, I got this confused with, there's an Asylum title, I think, called Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies or something like that. But this has the DVD, 3D Blu-ray, and regular Blu-ray. This is sort of a thick case, kind of unique. And interestingly enough, it has the printing on the spine kind of going the other way. Instead of going down, it actually goes up, which is interesting. But yeah, so Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. It wouldn't be Dollar Tree without Nick Cage, and I actually got 2 Nick Cage titles this time around. I picked up Pay the Ghost, and this is Nicolas Cage stars in this intense and chilling thriller about one man's desperate search for his missing child. 1 year after his young son disappeared during a Halloween carnival, Mike Lawford is haunted by eerie images and terrifying messages he can't explain. Together with his estranged wife, Sarah Wayne Callies from The Walking Dead, he will stop at nothing to unravel the mystery and find their son, and in doing so, he unearths a legend that refuses to remain buried in the past. So this is from 2015, Pay the Ghost. And then I also picked up 211, and this I can't really see all of the plot because of the sticker, but it says Officer Mike Chandler, played by Nicolas Cage, and a young civilian passenger find themselves underprepared and outgunned when fate puts them squarely in the crosshairs of a daring bank heist in progress by a fearless team of highly trained and heavily armed men. And this doesn't seem to have anybody else I know in it. But yeah, Nick Cage. This one is interesting. One of the ones I picked up, and I haven't seen anybody else pick this up, but I'm sure many people have. It doesn't look like a low-profile title, but it is Brian Banks, and this is from Universal. There's the back. And this says, the inspirational true story of Brian Banks, played by Aldous Hodge, an All-American high school football star committed to USC who finds his life upended when he is wrongly convicted of a crime he didn't commit. Despite the lack of evidence, Banks is railroaded through a broken justice system and sentenced to a decade of prison and probation. Years later, with the support of Justin Brooks, who's played by Greg Kinnear, and the California Innocence Project, Banks fights to reclaim his life and fulfill his dreams of playing in the NFL. This also has Sherry Shepard and Melanie LeBird. But yeah, Brian Banks. And this is fairly recent, I believe. 2019, maybe? 2018. The year is so small I can't read it. So yeah. But that's Brian Banks. This one has Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Famke Janssen, and Cush Jumbo. And it is The Postcard Killings. I don't know much about this one at all, but I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Famke Janssen. It says it is based on the James Patterson and Liza Markland #1 New York Times bestselling novel. New York detective Jacob Cannon's world is destroyed when his daughter and son-in-law are brutally murdered in London. Unable to sit idly by and do nothing, Jacob travels to London to get the answers he needs as he learns of similar heinous murders happening across Europe, each preceded by a postcard sent to a local journalist. Jacob is in a race against time to stop the killings and find justice for his little girl. So yeah, there's the cover. And there is the back. And I also picked up Voice from the Stone. I see a lot of people have picked this up with Amelia Clark and Martin Sokas, I believe is how you pronounce the name. A haunting thriller set in an isolated castle in 1950s Tuscany. Voice from the Stone tells the story of Verena, a determined young nurse who is hired to help the mute young heir within. But the more she observes him, the more Verena becomes convinced he has fallen under the spell of a powerful and otherworldly persona trapped in the villa's stone walls, one that seems to be rapidly entwining with her own. So yeah, Amelia Clark in an Amy Lee music video. I think it's interesting they have Amelia Clark spelled with an E at the end of her name there, and then on the back they have it spelled without the E. This is from Momentum Pictures, 90 minutes. So yeah, Voice from the Stone. Also found this one. This is from Fangoria, Thomas Lennon, starring in Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. And there's the back. And this also features, besides Thomas Lennon, it has Jenny Pellicer, or Pellicer. I don't know her. I'm not familiar with the name. Udo Kier, Barbara Crampton, and Michael Pare. I'm not too familiar with many of the Puppet Master movies. I've seen the first one and possibly like the second and third. But this one looks sort of like it's a sort of a soft reboot or something. So definitely check this one out. And then last from Dollar Tree, picked up The Big Ugly, starring Vinnie Moore, he's a guitarist, Vinnie Jones, Malcolm McDowell, and Ron Perlman. This says Nealon, who's played by Vinnie Jones, has always been the loyal enforcer for crime boss Harris, played by Malcolm McDowell, back in London, taking care of problems and people that disrupt his illicit business. When Harris strikes a deal with an own friend, American oilman Preston, played by Ron Perlman, they find themselves in the wild hills of West Virginia. Overnight, Nealon's girlfriend disappears, last seen with Preston's wayward son. Lines are drawn between family and friends, but nothing will stop Nealon from getting answers and retribution. I believe whoever is the art director for this should probably be fired for this artwork. Got this quote, it says "not to be missed," and if you can read what that says underneath by who that's attributed to, I would gladly like to know what it says, because it's so blurred out you can't really read it. I mean, seriously. And then the combination of this orange with the white font, I can barely read the cast, but this is from 2020. All right, and then the two things I picked up from Big Lots, they got some gifts. They're not gift sets, but like sort of like box sets in recently, and I picked up two of them. First one is The Scorpion King. This is a 5-movie collection. I've seen only the original Scorpion King, but this includes Scorpion King 2, Rise of a Warrior, Scorpion King 3, Battle for Redemption, Scorpion King 4, Quest for Power, and Scorpion King Book of Souls. I'm not expecting much, if anything, from the 4 sequels, but the first one is good, so pick that up. And here is the back. It says Blu-ray and digital, and I think it's kind of funny because in very small print at the bottom here, which obviously you're not going to be able to see from there, but it says The Scorpion King 2, The Rise of a Warrior is not available for digital. So you get 4 of the 5 movies on digital. And then the last thing I picked up is the Magnificent Seven collection. I've kind of been on a Western kick lately. I wanted to pick this up. I have the Magnificent Seven remake with Chris Pratt and I can't remember who else is in that. Let's see. Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, and Ethan Hawke. So here's the remake. but I wanted to see the original before I watched the remake, so I picked this up. This has The Magnificent Seven, Return of the Magnificent Seven, Guns of the Magnificent Seven, and The Magnificent Seven Ride. But this features Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, James Coburn. That's in the original one. And then in the second one, Yul Brynner is back with Warren Oates, Claude Akins, Robert Fuller. And the third one is George Kennedy. And that's all it lists. So I guess the cast, I guess the cast gets more and more unknown as the sequels go on. But anyway, this spans from 1960 was when the original came out, and then 1972 was when the fourth movie came out. But there you go, the Magnificent Seven collection. So there you go. Those are the pickups that I had from Dollar Tree and Big Lots for July 2022. If you've seen any of these, let me know what you thought of them. What did you guys pick up from this month's Dollar Tree wave, drop, whatever you want to call it? As always, thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It would help the channel out, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.